The Electric Hour presents Nelson Eddy. It's that pleasant hour for light and power. Brought to you by 167 business-managed electric companies with Robert Armbruster, the orchestra and chorus, our guests, INEZ GORMAN, soprano, and Corporal Robert Baer of the Army Air Forces, your announcer, Frank Graham, and starring Nelson Eddy.
I'm recalling times when I was small in light and free jubilee days. All folks praying, everybody swaying, loudly I chanted my praise. How I sang about the judgment throne and of Gabriel swooping on his horn. In that sunny land of milk and honey, I had no complaint. While I thought of saints, so I say to all who feel forlorn, sing hallelujah, hallelujah, and you'll soothe the blues away. When cares pursue ya, hallelujah, get you through the darkest day. Satan, light the way, and create and guide the way. Sing hallelujah, hallelujah, till the clouds away.
Thank you very much, and hello, everybody. Getting underway with Hallelujah from Hit the Deck. Nelson Eddy and Company welcome you on the Electric Hour. Later on, we'll present Corporal Robert Baer, and here, pretty as a picture, INEZ GORMAN.
How do you do? And, Nelson, it's wonderful to be back again.
Good to have you with us, INEZ. I might also add, by way of special greeting, felicidades por nuestros amigos en todas las naciones panamericanos.
All this in Spanish, too?
Just a greeting to our good neighbors, Inez.
And very nice. But what does it mean?
Best wishes to our friends in all the Latin American countries. This week, they'll be observing Pan American Day with us, the day in which we honor hemisphere, unity, and cooperation.
And because Latin Americans take a great interest in matters of romance, Nelson Eddy's next number will probably do a lot to further the cause of unity. Robert McJims's American love ballad, I Saw You There in the Moonlight.
in my memory's vision clear.
last generation has been the most important in the history of electricity, and worth ringing the bell for. Because it's during this last generation that the use of electricity in America has become so popular, so widespread, so useful, and so cheap. It's during this last historic generation that most of our electric appliances have come into common use. Electric refrigerators around 1925, radios around 1930, electric washing machines and vacuum cleaners in the early 20s, electric roasters and clocks around 1932, and so forth. Their economical use has been made possible through the lowered price you pay for your electricity. For it's been during these same years that the price of your electricity has been coming down and has stayed down even in wartime. For example, if you're the average user of electricity, you're now getting about twice the electricity you got 15 years ago for the same money. The electric companies sponsoring this program are proud to do their part in bringing you these benefits at a lower and lower cost. It's taken hard work and sound management. Best known for her soprano roles for the St. Louis Municipal Opera, INEZ GORMAN today returns for a second visit to the Electric Hour. And she brings along a mood of springtime and romance that will certainly appeal to our Latin American neighbors. The setting might be any place, so long as love is new and there's a song to tell the story. INEZ GORMAN and One Night of Love.
One night of love, when two hearts are one, a night to have and hold, when all is gone and starlight grows cold. One night of love, when all is gone, that I've known one night of love. Though my heart may be lonely, I find romance in my dreams. While I am waiting for only the night of love, the starlit night of love. One night of love, when two hearts are one, a night to have and hold, when love is gone and starlight grows cold. One night of love, when love is gone, that I find my lover gone. I whisper with a smile, I've lived a little while. I've known one night of love, one night
Well, sir, this afternoon is a treat in store for all of us, especially the Gilbert and Sullivan admirers and members of the Nelson Eddy Patter Song Club. Mr. Eddy is going to present,
Rising early in the morning,
from the comic opera,
the Gondoliers.
and the situation.
A simple case of mistake identity. Frank, unable to determine whether Marco should be king or Giuseppe should be king, The ministers of state decide the two of them should share the job.
Double king size, hmm? Nice work if you can get it.
Oh, certainly. We quite understand that a man who holds the magnificent position of king should do something to justify it. We are called Your Majesty. We are allowed to buy ourselves magnificent clothes. Our subjects frequently nod to us in the street. The sentries always return our salutes, and we enjoy the inestimable privilege of heading the subscription list to all the principal charities. In return for these advantages, the least we can do is to make ourselves useful about the palace.
Rising early in the morning, we proceed to light the fire. Then our Majesty, adorning in its work-a-day attire, we embark without delay on the duties of the day.
First, we polish off some batches of political dispatches and foreign politicians circumvent. Then, if business isn't heavy, we may hold a royal levy or ratify some acts of parliament. Then we probably review the household troops with the usual shallow-hoops and shallow-hoops, all received with ceremonial and state. An interesting Eastern potentate. After that, we generally go and dress our private valet. It's a rather nervous duty. He's a touchy little man. Writes some letters literary for our private secretary. He's shaky in his spelling, so we help him if we can. Then, in view of craving dinner, we go down and order dinner. Then we polish the regalia and the coronation plate. Spend an hour anticipating all our gentlemen in waiting, or we run on a little errand for the ministers of state. Oh, philosophers may sing of the troubles of a king, yet the duties are delightful and the privilege is great. But the privilege and pleasure that we treasure beyond measure is to run on little errands for the ministers of state. Yes, the privilege and pleasure that we treasure beyond measure is to run on little errands for the ministers of state. After luncheon, making merry on a bun and glass of sherry if we've nothing in particular to do. We may make a proclamation or receive a deputation. Then we possibly create a peer or two. Then we help a fellow creature on his path with a garter or the thistle or the bar. Or we dress and toddle off in semi-state to a festival, a function, or a fete. Then we go and stand as sentry at the palace, private entry, marching hither, marching thither, up and down and to and fro, while the warrior on duty goes in search of beer and beauty, and it generally happens that he hasn't far to go. He relieves us if he's able, just in time to lay the table, and we dine and serve the coffee. And at 12:30 or 1, with a pleasure that's emphatic, we retire to our attic with a gratifying feeling that our duty has been done. Oh, philosophers may sing of the troubles of a king, but of pleasures that are many and of worries that are none. And the culminating pleasure that we treasure beyond measure is the gratifying feeling that our duty has been done. Oh, philosophers may sing of the troubles of a king, but the pleasures that are many and of worries that are none. And the culminating pleasure that we treasure beyond measure is the gratifying feeling that our duty has been. Oh, dear.
Nelson.
Oh, what's the matter, Frank?
There's something wrong here. Is this an orchestra introduction or a diplomatic report on hemispheric solidarity?
Well, a little of both, Frank. Music practically started the good neighbor policy.
You mean that Pan-American plan didn't start with an embassy man?
Well, the plan might have, but a long time before the good neighbor policy was official with the State Department, the United States and our Latin American friends were getting acquainted through music. It was sort of a reciprocal trade agreement. We exported our brand of music, and they sent us congas, rumbas, and sambas in return.
Ah, I'm beginning to see what you mean. And one of the most popular items received through this musical lend-lease system is a bright and colorful samba, Brasil.
Right you are. And presented by Robert Armbruster and the orchestra in the spirit of Saludos Amigos.
Say, Nelson, do you read the comic strip Gasoline Alley?
Only every day. Why?
Well, you remember what happened to Walt and Phyllis not long ago during that big thunderstorm?
I sure do, and what a thunderstorm.
Never seen a storm like it, folks. Regular hurricane. Sleet pouring down, 100-mile-an-hour wind. Trees broken, wires down. Walt starts toward the radio.
I'll turn on the radio and hear about the damage.
He reaches the radio and tries to turn it on.
Oh, am I dumb? I knew the wires were down.
Walt, the refrigerator is off.
Sure it is, Phyllis. You'll have to put the food on the back porch.
Meantime, the little daughter dances around joyously in the dark, very pleased because she won't have to do her homework. Until Walt says...
Not so fast, young lady.
Walt tries to turn on the lights. Nothing happens. He tries to shave. No hot water. So off he goes to bed and tries to read by kerosene lamp. Finally, he laughs and says,
Isn't it the truth? You never miss the water until the well runs dry.
Yes, sometimes you don't appreciate your electricity until it fails. The point is that it almost never does. More and more through the years, the electric companies have found ways to foil the elements and conquer nature with improved equipment and better methods. On the almost never occasions when something does go wrong, emergency crews leap into action on a moment's notice. In companies such as those which sponsor the Electric Hour, people are on the job night and day in fair weather or foul, so that when you flick that switch on the wall, you won't be disappointed. That's the sort of service which you have come to expect, and which you can get only in America. It's one of Jerome Kern's well-remembered tunes from the production Girl from Utah, They Didn't Believe Me. An unusual state of affairs explained by INEZ Gorman and Nelson Eddy.
You've got the cutest little way, like to watch you all the day.
And it certainly seems fine, just to think that you'll be mine.
When I see your winning smile, makes my living worth the while.
So we have to run around, telling people what we found.
And when I told them how wonderful you are, they didn't believe me. They didn't believe me.
Your lips, your eyes, your teeth, your hair are enough beyond compare.
You're the loveliest thing that one could see. And when I tell them that I'm the one whose wake one day you'll meet, they'll never believe me. They'll never believe me. That from this great big world you've chosen me.
Headline.
Super fortresses bomb Japan industrial areas.
Headline.
Tokyo ablaze after B-29 raid.
Headline.
B-29s today hit Japan for second time in 24 hours.
Some of the most exciting headlines of the war tell the world about our Boeing super fortresses, the big B-29 bombers, and our recent exploits over Japan. And it's not surprising to hear there's a new song about them called Silver Wings. As yet unpublished, the song is the work of a corporal in the Army Air Forces, a former Hollywood lad, and here he is, Corporal Robert Baer. Bob, it's a real pleasure to have you with us.
Thank you very much, Mr. Eddy. I can't tell you how happy I am that the Electric Hour is presenting Silver Wings coast to coast for the first time.
It's a privilege to introduce it, Bob. I can see how the Boeing B-29 would inspire a song.
Yes, sir, they're great planes. And I also wanted to pay a tribute to the air crews and ground crews that keep them flying.
I understand, Bob, that Silver Wings has already been adopted as the official song of your B-29 group.
That's right, Mr. Eddy, the 509.
You said earlier today you'd like to dedicate it to an Air Force officer.
Yes, sir, I would. At this time, the officers and men of the 509 wish to dedicate our song to Major General Uzal G. Ent, who instigated the B-29 training program within the 2nd Air Force. General Ent is in Brooks General Hospital at San Antonio, Texas, recovering from injuries. And we hope he's listening as Nelson Eddy, Robert Armbruster, the chorus and orchestra present Silver Wings.
Going on our way, there's a judgment day that we bring. Hail wind, high in an endless sky, play a song for pilots to sing. Our echelon carries thunder, our wingtips herald the night. We navigate through the wonder of solid trails of flight. Moving out, we are moving out, we're about to meet the foe. This is an airman's show. This is an airman's show. We are men of the age, we're living a page out of history. We are men of today who never display any fear. Riding silver wings, we will fly till the horizon's clear. Our celestial star is set on the heart of eternity, and the day we come back, you'll know the attacking is through. Silver wings on a mission of pain, silver wings on a mission of flame. In victory's name we will claim the blue. In victory's name we will claim the blue. Through the wonder of solid rails of flight. Moving out, we are moving out, we're about to meet the foe. This is an airman's show. This is an airman's show. We are men of the age, we're living a page out of history. We are men of today who never display any fear. Riding silver wings, we will fly till the horizon's clear. Our celestial chart is set in the heart of eternity, and the day we come back, you'll know the attacking is through. Silver wings on a mission of fame. Silver wings on a mission of flame. In victory's name we will claim the blue. In victory's name we will claim the blue.
and Eddie will be back in just a moment.
Among your hosts for the Electric Hour in the New York area are the Long Island Lighting Company, the Staten Island Edison Company, and the New Jersey Power and Light Company. We join with 167 other business-managed, tax-paying, self-supporting electric companies to bring you these friendly talks about the electric business and what business enterprise can do to build an even greater America. By the way, don't waste electricity just because it's cheap.
Nelson Eddy again. Our thanks to INEZ Gorman and Corporal Robert Baer for being with us today. Next week, Robert Armbruster, the orchestra and chorus, Frank Graham, and I will meet you once again on the Electric Hour. Our guest will be Jeanette MacDonald. Until next Sunday, then, may happiness light your home, and more power to you.
The Electric Hour comes to you from Hollywood and is transmitted to our troops overseas by the Armed Forces Radio Service. This is CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System.